Hello everyone, Joakim from Sabaton here, and last I checked I was a singer.
Well, Heroes is the brand new album, a few months old at this point, but it's the first album with this lineup, but you've already toured with them for quite some time. Prior to that, what was that experience like going in with?
I mean, I had a lot of fun. For me, it's was a big change, changing so many members in the band, of course. But I mean, the biggest drawback to it, I guess, was that especially Chris and Tube, who's been in the band for 2.5, almost 3 years by now, had to, play someone else's guitar parts and not have their own at least solos in there at all, because we all agreed that in many cases the solos are a part of the song and they should at least stay pretty much the same. So it's actually quite a relief now when we have everybody's actual performances on the album and live as well.
Obviously the record's called Heroes, and each song highlights a particular hero that people might not know about. Had you always had this concept, or did you come up with it while writing the album?
We actually had it since 2009, late 2009, the idea for this. There came an album called Carolus Rex in between, which is about the Swedish Empire, but I remember actually me and Per were writing the lyrics for an album that became Coat of Arms. So it was released in 2010, but this is late 2009 and then there's one song on that album about a Finnish sniper called Simo Heie. The song is White Death, and in that song we didn't write about warfare in general, we focused on him. And at that point we kind of, while writing that song, we figured out that, man, there is something to this, singing about an individual instead of 500,000 people, because that easily becomes statistics.
True. Is there the potential for a second album like this, a follow-up to the Heroes concept?
Ooh, I hate the idea of doing part 2 or 3 or something. But he worked for Halloween with the Keeper of the Seven Keys, right? So, I mean, there is enough heroes, in military history. We could do it again. I'm not so sure we're gonna though.
You've returned to playing keyboards on this record. Did you miss doing that in the last few albums?
Well, I've been playing on the previous albums before as well. Not everything, of course, but it wasn't really advertised as that, because I'm usually in the studio all the time anyway, and a certain percentage of the synthesizers were always recorded by me anyway. So, but I must say it's quite fun to play, because I enjoy it. I mean, I sing almost every night on stage, but to actually play the piano or keyboards, it's my way of relaxing.
Who are your keyboard influences?
Ooh, well, that would be John Lord, Deep Purple. I'm an organ player from the beginning, actually, not a keyboard player, and it would be him or Don Airey.
Can't go wrong with those picks. Excellent. Well, the Ballad of Bull is a standout track on the record, and it's kind of a bit of departure sound-wise for the band. A delicate keyboard piece there. Can you talk a little bit about the writing of that song?
Yeah, actually, I wish it was me playing keyboard on that one, but a friend of ours actually doing that, and I wrote the song, I can't remember, November, December last year, so it's less than a year ago actually, and I just put it in as a demo because I had an idea. So I'm playing piano and singing with a very, very hoarse voice, because I'm, I have the flu or something. Sounds like shit actually, and I play a very simplified version of the piano. And when we were going to Costa Rica in December, the rest of them wanted to hear, some of the tracks I'd written for the album, and they started to listen, and they were all in the same folder. And I didn't plan for this Ballad of Bull thing even to be on the album. I just put it there because I had some nice melodies. I'll save it for later. And it turns out most of them really liked the melodies, even though it was a really rough demo. And that's actually how that one came to be. It wasn't even planned to be a Sabaton song actually, but then as we came closer we realized we need a way better guitar player. Keyboard player than I am. So it's a friend of ours called Philip who's playing the piano.
Excellent. Well, this is another effort with Peter Tuckren helming the ship.
Yep.
What do you like about working with that producer?
Well, several things. One, I think he's one of the best in the metal business. Two, he's a friend for maybe 10 years. 3, he lives 45 minutes away. Do we need any more reasons actually?
That works. Yeah. Out on tour with the Monomarth, obviously. On this stop here, and they recently covered, or you recently covered a song of theirs, "The Twilight of the Thunder God."
Yes.
Do you know if they've heard it?
They have.
What do they think of it?
Well, they're not gonna tell us in our face that it sucks, no, are they? No, they only said good things, but I don't know what they really think. Well, they said good things to us at least.
Well, if someone put a gun to your head and had to ask you, what Sabaton song should a Monomarth cover?
Ooh, cool. Oh, which one would that be? Yeah, like, give me a couple of seconds here. I don't know. It's a tricky one. 40-1 maybe.
Interesting.
It has this melodies going on in the background with one guitar and the other one doing the chords. A little bit of what they do live as well, and it's a fast one. Yeah, something like that maybe.
We'll expect to see that on the deluxe edition of the next record. Inside the liner notes for Heroes, it lists yourselves as band managers, band management. Have you always done that?
Yeah. No, we never had a man. We tried a few, on a few months basis, but I mean, to be honest, these days Pat is doing most of the business stuff anyway, management stuff. I am a happy assistant in that case, an extra eye, an extra advisor, and exactly the opposite when it comes to the music. I basically write all the music, and he'll assist me when it comes to the lyrics or something like that. So we always found out that nobody's gonna care about as much about Sabaton as we are. So the only reason for somebody to get in at this point, seeing as we're a bit established, at least over in Europe, would be for money. And nothing wrong with that, but I don't want that to be the main reason.
Excellent. Have you ever met a veteran of one of the wars that you've sung a song about?
Yeah, actually, a couple of times. I met survivors from the Warsaw Uprising, and just a month ago in Juiz de Fora, 2 hours outside of Rio de Janeiro, a guy came who was fighting in the Brazilian Expeditionary Force. So the song Smoking Snakes on Heroes is about these guys. And the song focuses on 3 guys that stay behind and sacrifice their lives basically so the rest can regroup. And one of these 3 guys was the friend of a guy who came to the show. And so 93-year-old guy came to a Sabaton show. Yeah, it was kind of cool to see him, but I figure, if he can survive the Nazis, he can probably handle a heavy metal show,
There you go. Did you get a review after the show? Did he tell you? Did he enjoy it?
We didn't speak much after the show, actually. We spoke before the show, but he was really happy about the fact that, people still remember this, and he said it's strange. We had a translator, of course, because he didn't speak much good English, but he said that these things are being forgotten even in Brazil, and the general population don't know about it. So he was so happy and surprised to see that a Swedish band noticed it.
Is Ghost Division always the show opener?
Pretty much always. I mean, the last time we didn't open with it was this summer at our festival in Fall in our hometown. We have a festival called Sabaton Open Air. Not a major one, but about 3 days, 5,000 people every night. And at that point we played all of Carolus Rex. From beginning to end in Swedish. So at that point, of course, we opened with The Lion from the North from the album. But the time before that, I think it's in 2011 or something.
Wow. It doesn't matter the size of the gig or the venue. You guys always come on stage just like a bullet out of a gun. Where do you get that energy from? Are you psyching yourself up before a show?
No, I don't. That's the thing. People, especially people who's been with the crew for some time, or people, they're just laughing about it. But people visiting can sometimes think I'm insanely strange or boring, or what the fuck is up with me, because I can be, 25-30 minutes before showtime, I can be really tired actually, and maybe on my phone playing some silly game or whatever, and then okay, I'll go change. All of a sudden I can change. I can still be tired and relatively off, and I hear the intro, and then all right, let's go. I don't know what it is. I guess it comes as a habit now. I mean, for the last 12 months, I think we did 150, 160 concerts. And I don't know what it is. It's just I hear the intro, I hear the start of Final Countdown. On the other hand, now there's two problems in my personal life that it actually causes problems for me. If I hear, we usually start the song, if we're not supporting, I'm not sure what we're doing here today, but we usually start our set with the Final Countdown before we put our intro. If I hear the Final Countdown on the radio or in a bar somewhere, I go into gig mode mentally. Or if I feel smoke machines, that smell, I'll wake up instantly and get ready for the show mentally. So that's highly disturbing, actually.
So you'll never be able to go to a Europe concert?
No, I've done that actually. It's kind of nice.
You guys should cover that song.
I can't sing it that high, man. We're gonna have to do some serious, changes to it.
Some of the band's older albums have classic metal reference type songs like Metal Ripper and Metal Machine. Ever think about doing another song like that?
Yeah, I mean, technically on one of the editions of Heroes, we have a song called Man of War. And let's say the lyrics contain only Man of War song titles.
There you go. Whose idea was that?
That was mine, I'm afraid.
Excellent. Can you tell us Americans a little bit about the Sabaton cruise?
Oh, actually we had this way before 70,000 Tons of Metal and everything, but it's a tradition. I mean, I can remember even since I was a teenager, there were these rock cruises going on between Sweden and Finland. It might be a bit of cover bands or a little bit of everything, and that tradition sadly disappeared, because it's a short 24 or 48-hour cruise basically. It goes between Sweden and Finland, and at one point we thought, hey, these are almost disappearing, why don't we make our own instead of joining the magazines different cruises, and we can make a special show, maybe do 2 sets as we did the last couple of times, and bring the bands we want. And that's how we started it. So now we got an annual thing where we bring 2,000 metalheads onto a cruise ship in the middle of the butt cold winter in the Baltic Sea, and we play 2 sets on one night, and then we have on the way back home again the next day there's another band playing usually.
Wow. Have to come to that at some point.
Yeah, let us know, man.
The wife gives us a day pass. What's your favorite part of touring in the United States? I know you've been here quite a few times, but is there something you look forward to when you come here?
There's always different places. I mean, I remember some cities you had a good time, maybe you met some nice people. It could also be, I'm looking forward to going down south while it's really fucking cold back home in Sweden and stuff like that. Well, in general, people are, I think, at least compared to Swedish and most of Europe actually, more socially competent and actually polite. I have to say that, which is not the stereotype that people in Europe think. But I'd have to say it's way easier to go out after a concert and actually talk to people here than it would be in Europe.
Well, what's next for Sabaton leading into 2015?
Ooh, touring. Surprise. We start out, actually we left Sweden on the 26th of August. We haven't been home still. We've been in Poland, South America, up here. We'll be home on the 15th. On the 15th, I think it is, of November, and then we got 1 week at home. That's pretty much it. Then we go on tour again, then we're home for 2 weeks, then we're on the road for the main European one from January until February. Short vacation, and then we go on a tour, which I can't reveal yet. And then we're coming back to America in March, April, I believe. Excellent. Or April, May, can't remember. But I can't tell you yet, but
something to look forward to.
It will be announced within 2 or 3 weeks, I guess.
Was there anything you'd like to say to Sabaton fans who might be watching this?
Well, thank you for the good times. We had a lot of good runs here in the US now, and I think it's the 3rd time for us in Columbus, so looking forward to tonight.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Okay.